right now on Higher Journeys with Alexis Brooks. You're talking about passion, yes?
That's the first principle, because passion, from his point of view, I mean, yeah, here's the thing that I really appreciate about Bashar's approach. We all hear these aphorisms, right? We all hear these sayings: follow your bliss, live your dreams, act on your passion. That's great. But the thing of it is until, at least from my experience, until Bashar started describing why that's important, it was usually just sort of left nebulous in the ethers, in kind of a, new agey woo woo sort of, like, well, yeah, that sounds nice, but is that practical? And so he brings why it's practical, why it works, how it works. He gives you a grounded understanding that the idea of acting on your passion is not just a pie in the sky wishful thinking thing, that there is actually, in a sense, physics to it. Because from his point of view, passion is a communication. It's our translation, our physical translation of a communication from our soul to our physical mind. It's how our bodies and our physical minds translate, and a message that comes to us in energy from the soul. The soul is non-physical, so it only communicates in terms of energy. And when it communicates in terms of energy, our physical bodies act as a translation device that turn that energy into a sensation, a physical sensation. And that physical sensation is passion, love, excitement, creativity. So when you are willing to act on what you are truly passionate about, on what opportunities come to you in your life that contain more excitement, more passion than anything else, it's the soul telling you, look, this is you. This is your path. This is the next step on your journey, because it contains more of this vibration. And this vibration is the frequency of your soul, of who you are, of your truth, your true self. So when you're willing to act on it, you are listening to the guidance of your soul, and you're saying, okay, I hear you. I am willing to take some action in this direction, because you're telling me that this is my path in life. This is who I really am. And when you take that action, you're answering the soul. You're saying, I heard you. And you're willing to accept the guidance of your soul.
Okay.
And then the soul can send you more opportunities that contain more passion to act on. But if you don't act on your passion, if you're too scared to, or you have some kind of reason not to that you've made up in your mind, then your soul is not going to send you any more opportunities to act on your truth until you act on what it's already sent you, because that would be pointless. And the soul is not going to do pointless things. So you have to get the message that acting on your passion is really what's going to allow your life to work. It's going to connect you to what you need to be connected to. It's going to connect you to who you need to be connected to, where you need to be connected to it, in the timing you need to be connected to it. It's a self-guiding, self-expanding, self-directing principle that works automatically when you actually start following all the steps in the instruction manual.
Oof.
So
I'm following.
yeah,
So
and the thing of it is nobody has to believe that just on the saying of it. The thing that is amazing about the information is that when you actually apply it, you get a result. And I've got literally hundreds of people that come back to me and say, I finally applied the principle of the formula in my life as precisely as I possibly could, and it changed everything. So the proof is not that, oh, this is coming from an extraterrestrial or another entity and that I'm channeling. The proof is that the information actually makes a difference. And so the proof is the information itself. And that's all that matters.
What I wanted to ask, Darryl, is would you agree that there, particularly during these times, people are having issues in identifying authentic passion versus what they think should be their passion?
Well, yeah, again, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to ask yourself, why do I believe what I believe? And you have to be able to tell the difference between excitement and anxiety, because people a lot of times will disguise their anxiety as excitement, and even vice versa. They'll disguise their excitement as anxiety and won't move forward on it. So you have to have honest self-awareness. honest conversations with yourself,
Yeah.
transparent conversations with yourself. You cannot be afraid to explore your negative beliefs and find out why you're holding on to them. Most people that aren't moving forward on their passion is simply because they have a belief that something worse will happen in their lives if they do.
Mm.
And that doesn't necessarily make sense. And it's not necessarily a fact that something worse will happen if they move forward on their excitement. But they've been taught so many things that are so contrary to who they are that it can be confusing. And that's why you really have to take the time to know yourself and to be honest with yourself to say, am I really acting on this because it's my excitement? Or am I doing this because I'm avoiding something I don't want to face?
Absolutely.
And you just have to be honest with yourself to figure that out.
I hope we're all listening loud and clear. I agree, and I try to live by that, but I think there are so many people, Darryl, and I've talked to many as well who, yeah, but for, um,
Yeah.
won't go for the thing that they truly love. And I don't know what we can do. We can't do anything about that, but I hope
No.
everyone that is on the fence about doing something that they may be a little
Yeah.
ambivalent
Well,
about to do it.
yeah, but here's the caveat. As Bashar says, look, you have to honor your belief system. If you believe that your excitement and your passion cannot support you in life, then it's not wise to let go of what you are doing that you believe you do need for support until you at least act on your passion often enough when you can that you can give your passion a chance to show you eventually that it can support you. And then you can let go of what you're doing now that may not be your passion, but you absolutely believe you have to have for support in physical reality.
Mhm.
So you can't jump off a cliff if you don't believe you have a parachute. You will just go splat.
Absolutely.
So it's up to you, and whatever process you need and however long it takes, short or long, it's up to you to honor your belief system, but act on your passion as often as you can to give it a chance to prove to you that ultimately it is who you are and it can support you in life. But you also have to broaden your definition of what support means, because it's not always about money. Money is one of the valid ways that you can be supported in this reality, but it's not the only way, and sometimes not even the best way for you to be supported. So you have to broaden your definition that abundance and support can mean many different things. And as long as you are given the ability to move forward, do what you need to do when you need to do it, then you are abundant. You are supported. It doesn't have to come in any one particular form. You could be given a gift, you could have something to trade. Imagination is a form of abundance. Synchronicity is a form of abundance. Communication, as we've been talking about, is a form of abundance.
Yes, indeed.
Because when you do all these things and allow all of them to be equal to money, then they can all come in when they need to and maybe work together. Maybe a little bit of money comes in. Maybe somebody gives you something you need out of the blue. Maybe you find you have something to trade for something else. And then those three things can work together to give you the 100% abundance you needed to move forward on your passion at that time. So it involves understanding how to change your definitions of things in ways that work rather than just assuming, well, this can only be done in one way and that's all there is to it. And if I can't do it that way, it can't be done. I mean, that's just giving up before you even start, because you're not even in a state of mind to receive the inspiration that could tell you there is a way that would work for you if you were willing to open your mind and do a little creative thinking and figure that out. Because there's always a way that works for you. There's always a way that will work for you. It may not work for everyone else, but there's always a way that will work for you.